In today's guide we're going to be showing you how you can host your domain on a PBN blog hosting package. Before we go ahead and start the blog, just make sure that you have the relative hosting plan selected. You can do that by logging into your dashboard and then coming to PBN hosting. From here, pick the package that suits you for the amount of blogs that you want to host. Next up, you can go to your PBN's blog list by going to your dashboard or by coming to websites and blogs and then to private blogs, PBN. Here on the top you're going to find your blog usage. After you buy your hosting, this is going to be updated to suit how many blogs that you can hold on here. As you can see, I have space for one more, so I'm going to go ahead to the create new blog. A side note here is that you will need to create your category before you create your blog so you can add your blog to the certain category. We do this in case you have many blogs and you want to keep them categorized. You can add or edit any categories by coming over to the category section on the left first. Once you've created your relative category, return back and go to create new blog from your PBN blog list. From here I'm going to go in and paste my domain name on the top blog domain. Here I'm not going to put in the www dot and just simply have the domain with a TLD ending. Then go ahead and choose your blog category and fill in a blog title. Additionally, you can also choose some plugins to add with your installation so you don't have to install them after your installation. This also includes themes if you want to already install it with a theme. Next, let's go ahead and add the blog. This will now take a few minutes just to become online. Once online, we can go to the blue cog action button. Here it's going to give us the information that we need to input into our domain. Take a note that nameserver1 has its own separate IP to nameserver2. So it's a little bit different than simply inputting in the name servers, we also have to put in the blog's IP. So let's head over to our domain. Now if you're hosting it on SeekaHost.App, simply come down to the blue cog action button again next to the domain name. Make sure to unlock the domain before making any changes. Then you can come over to the name server section. Before choosing and filling out the custom private name servers, we first want to come down and register a name server name. Now if I head back to our page, we can see that this is the name server name, so it's ns1.ezippy.co.uk, and this is the IP that goes with it. I'm going to copy the IP for nameserver1. Back on our domains list, we simply have to enter the first part, which is ns1 for nameserver1, and the rest is auto-completed for us. Then go ahead and paste the IP. Now go ahead and create your first name server. Now we need to register the second name server. To do this, go ahead and copy nameserver2 IP, which is different to the nameserver1. Much like we did before, we're going to type in ns, but this time it's going to be ns2 for nameserver2, and we're going to put in the relative IP. Then go ahead and create. Now if you get this error here, saying that the name server already exists, it means that you've already hosted with us here, and that you need to modify the name server. This won't happen if it's your first time hosting a PBN hosting list with this particular domain. So to modify the name server IP, we're going to come to modify a name server IP. Here we're going to type in ns1 and then we're going to add in the IP. Click modify. As you can see, we have now successfully modified the IP for ns1. Now we're going to need to modify the IP for ns2 as well, just to make sure that everything is correct. So I've copied the nameserver2 IP. I'm going to come down to the same section, so modify nameserver IP. Here I'm going to type in ns2 this time, and then type in the new IP, and then click modify. Great. Now lastly, we just need to use custom private name servers. Here we're going to copy the nameserver1 without the IP, so simply ns1.yourdomainname. Paste that into the first section, and paste it into the second section, just making sure to change it to ns2 for nameserver2. Then go ahead and change name servers. Now if we come back to our overview, we're going to see that it's now got updated name servers to ns1.yourdomainname and ns2.yourdomainname. Once you're finished, just make sure to click the domain lock and lock the domain back up. Now we head back to the PBN blog info page. Before we enable the SSL, which is the next step, we first want to make sure that the name servers have been updated. To this we head over to a site called leafdns.com. In the top search bar, just go ahead and type in your domain and press go. As you can see in the top line here, we have ticks and we have the corresponding name servers and IPs. This means the connection has now been made between the PBN blog and the domain. Because that connection's been made, we can now come to the SSL certificate and go ahead and activate it. If you've done it correctly, you're going to get this green mark around here saying the SSL will be activated in around 30 minutes. With that active, you can go ahead to your site login and then log into your site. Your username and password can be found in the Account Manage section, where it will give you both your username and password and give you the option to change your password. If you have any problems or queries, simply head over to the support section and create a ticket, or go to the live chat on any of our pages on SeekaHost.App.